The German advance was rapid, up to 40 miles a day, capturing vast areas of the Soviet Union. Arkady Pervintsev was a Russian war correspondent.
Each day is full of human and Russian tragedy. The war goes on, tragic and cruel. Smolensk has fallen. Bessarabia, Tiraspol, Zhytomyr, Minsk, Riga, Orsha, Bobruisk, Novograd-Volhynsky, Kamenetsk-Podolsky, and many others. All have fallen. The Ukraine is ablaze. Belarusia is burning. The fire of war is approaching Central Russia.
Over 3 million Soviet soldiers were captured. German private Benno Zieser witnessed the tragic procession.
We suddenly saw a broad earth-brown crocodile slowly shuffling down the road towards us. From it came a subdued hum, like that from a beehive. Prisoners of war, Russians. We quickly moved away from the foul cloud that surrounded them. Then, what we saw transfixed us, and we forgot our nausea. Were these really human beings? These grey-brown figures? These shadows lurching towards us? Moving shapes at their last gasp? Creatures which only some last flicker of will to live enabled them to march. All the misery of the world seemed to be concentrated here.
Battlefield brutality and years of propaganda had created a hatred and a contempt that made the killing of prisoners permissible. 21-year-old Hugo Lapp was a gunner with Panzer Group 23.
Dear Mother, each time when I look in the faces of the captured Russians and I see the scum of their Asian vile, then I am convinced over and over again that this battle is necessary to guarantee the survival of our homeland and culture. Often we don't have time to take prisoners, and in order that they can't attack us from our backs, we bump them off, there and then. All this killing requires strong nerves. One of our lads couldn't take it any longer. He killed himself. He leaves a wife, parents, and 2 children behind. Yours always, your youngest son.
In 6 months, 600,000 Soviet prisoners of war died. In August 1941, Hitler visited the Eastern Front. Euphoric from German victories, the vision of a 1,000-year Reich, a new world order, was still clear in the mind of the Führer. German tanks were now approaching Moscow. In the Soviet capital, there was panic and fear of total collapse. German Colonel Kress shared the Führer's confidence.
September 1941. There is no need for us to be in a hurry for Moscow. The fact that the Russians are throwing more and more troops against us makes no difference to us. We will take Moscow when we want to.
But the Germans were beginning to respect their enemy.
The Russians are very tenacious in defense, and particularly skillful in constructing fortifications. We cannot deny the Bolsheviks' courage and contempt for death. We have not been confronted by such an opponent before.
By December 1941, the Germans had still failed to take Moscow. There would be many years of bloodshed ahead. Then, the United States entered the war.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
After President Roosevelt addressed the nation, George Rodemaker of the U.S. Navy